Okay, great. It's 6:35. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our board meeting. We do have a quorum in place. We also have we don't have all the executive board members here, but we have four, eight, we have 10 board members in attendance. And we will move forward according to the agenda, and we will have Elizabeth proceed with the roll call. And Elizabeth, when you do the roll call, if others hop on, can you just stop and just, interrupt and just say so-and-so has joined the meeting so that we have it documented?
Okay.
So I'm going to turn the meeting over to, I've called the meeting to order, and I'm going to turn the agenda over to Secretary Elizabeth Ellis.
Hello, everyone. I will do the roll call. President Lena Louise Kennedy.
Present.
Treasurer Joanne Forte.
Present.
Elizabeth Ellis. Secretary present. Chair Bob Nemec.
Present.
Vice Chair Maureen McConnell. Not here. Chair Renee Gonzalez.
Here.
Vice Chair Johnny Kaman. May pronounce his name. Not here. Phyllis Griffin, Chair. Not here.
She's here.
Okay. Phyllis Griffin, Chair.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Irina Mekamyan, Chair. Not here. Vice Chair Isabel Warner. Not here.
She did email. Oh, I'm sorry. No,
Oh.
Isabel Warren. No. I'm sorry. Maureen O'Connell. I'm sorry. Emailed and said that she was out of town, so she is excused absence. Marie McConnell. Excuse me.
Okay, I got married. Okay. Vice Chair, excuse me, Tina Rios. Not here.
I saw Tina.
Excuse me, you thought Tina? Tina Rios.
She's not here. She's on vacation.
Okay, thank you.
Her name is coming up. Tina Rios. Maybe she's, I know she's muted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, thank you. I hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having technical issues. I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Chair Marietta Knox.
Here.
Vice Chair Ron Carter.
Here.
Thank you. Southern California SCI Board, Marna Carnell.
Here.
Thank you. Parliamentarian Marcia Talbert.
Present.
Thank you. We have Public Relations, James Farr. Not here. Is there anyone I'm missing? Denise Morey, she handles membership. Denise Morey. Not here. Okay, Joanne Forte, she also handles the hospitality, so she's here. Student Exchange, Reverend Phyllis Griffin is here. And then we have New Sister City Affiliation Committee, Renee Gonzalez and Justin Chapman.
Here.
Justin Chapman, are you here? Okay, he's not here. Okay. And those are the names of the board and the members of the board.
Thank you very much. And we have a quorum. So now we're going to go into the reports from the different committee members. Starting with, I'm going to skip over the president's report and I'm going to go to the treasurer's report, if that's okay, Joanne Forte Warmly.
Sure.
Madam Chair, prior to doing that, you would need to make changes to the agenda and then call for the approval of the agenda once the changes are made prior to going into the agenda.
Parliamentarian Talbot, what should we do?
I was saying that you need to call for the approval of the agenda, and once it's been motioned and properly seconded, you can discuss changes to the agenda, and then the person who made the motion needs to amend their motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
Okay, thank you. So we will approve, can we call for approval of the agenda? We'll go according to the agenda as documented. Can we call for, thank you, Parliamentary Talbot. Can we call for the approval of the agenda, please?
I move that we approve the agenda as printed.
Second.
The agenda has been, a motion has been placed on the floor to approve the agenda. Do we have any questions or changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay, we will move forward with the agenda as approved. So the president's report. First, again, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. We will try to move this agenda forward and get a lot of work done. At our board meetings is where we dig deeper into the nitty-gritty of the work that we're doing. And at the general membership meetings, we report out. But this is where we can have heavier conversations when we have our board meetings. What I've been doing as president, I've been meeting with Glendale and Burbank sister cities, and I've given them a lot of our work. The Glendale sister cities has presented a report to their council members, their city managers, using a lot of our materials, and I gave them permission to do so. It was very impressive for them to see what we were doing, and out of what they presented to their council member and their city manager, interesting enough, they recommended that they hire a staff person right now, paying them hourly rates to help them formulate and reorganize their sister city in Glendale. As I work with them and talk with them, I'm also learning from them by sharing with them what we're doing and getting ideas on how we can maneuver and navigate with our council members and city managers. So I had not thought about asking our city manager to put in the budget for a part-time person. The young lady I've been working with in Glendale, her name is Stephanie, and what she said was the city manager agreed to have a part-time person come on at an hourly rate. After this fiscal year, they will look to hire a permanent person to work with them as she presents information to this council and city manager. They're learning like we are learning, except we seem like we know a little bit more, which we really don't. It's just, I think our structure may appear that we do. So they're using a lot of our templates, our documents, our budgets to share and make presentations. And she's gonna send me the PowerPoint. She did send me the PowerPoint. I will forward that to all of you so you can see what she submitted to her council member and city manager. One of the things that I proposed in talking with the two of them, and we have monthly meetings, is that I recommended that we create a tri-city sister cities. And this way we can all work together, get information. We can invite them to our general membership meetings. We can invite them to our annual meeting that we have in August. And then we have shared best practices that we can share with each other so that we can continue to do the work that we're doing. The Glendale sister city is the one that sent us information on we had something from Japan, I think it was, and I sent it to Renee. that information came from the Glendale sister city. So there's sometimes they may get something that we don't have, or we may get something that they don't have. And so these are good partnerships and good relationships. And I think it's smart of us to extend our doors and our relationships beyond Pasadena so that we can learn. I talked about the engagement from sister cities. The other thing that I wanted to present was I'm proposing that we be one of the sponsors at a $500 level for, I attached it to you, a back to school program giveaway for backpacks. And I am recommending that we approve a $500 sponsorship. I do have a question for the treasurer. I don't know if we have in a budget for the president to have discretionary funds and spending. I don't think that's in the budget. You would know more than I would. I should have looked at it.
That is not, we don't have that item in the budget.
Okay, so we need to approve this for us to move forward. And maybe if we revise the budget, we can maybe add a line item in there for $500 or less discretionary fund for the president to be able to spend money without having to come to a board meeting if it's under 500. So I'm gonna make a motion, but not at this second, for us to approve that. Maybe I'll wait till the treasurer give her report and then make a motion for the finances. I also wanted to appoint a nominating committee for the 2025 election. And I was going to ask the same nominating committee that we had before to proceed, and because they've had, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel, if they would please be the nominating committee for 2025. And that would be Elizabeth Ellis, Bob Nemec, Renee Gonzalez, Irina, and Marna, was she on that committee? No. So as long as we have 3, we're good, but that's what I'm recommending. I would like to appoint them if they agree to it, because they've had the experience, and I think it would be easier for us with us going through so much administrative challenges in 2024. I think it would be nice and an easy process instead of having to train someone to handle the nominating process. Would you be willing to do that, Elizabeth, Bob, and Renee?
I'm Rene Gonzalez. I am available. I accept the nomination.
I as well. I believe Tina, I don't know, was Tina on the committee last time? I think
yes, Tina,
Rios
yes.
was also.
Yes, and that would be great if all of you would agree to do that again.
I agree.
Okay, thank you very much. And that concludes my report as the president. And now I would like to turn it over to Treasurer Joanne Forte.
Good evening.
Joanne, I did email
Yes.
everyone the report that you submitted to the city.
Okay, so do you have the last report that I sent, or should I just share what I have here?
You can share what you have, and then I think you have your report to the city. If not, you just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it.
I think you can share the one to the city, and I just have my general report. So let's see.
Great.
Hold on one second. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me close out some of this stuff here. Okay. All right. Okay, so can you guys see okay?
Yes.
Okay. So looking at the budget, and it has all of the activity on the budget, so we'll go through that. The income, we have not had any income based on our proposed budget. We have, well, I should correct that. We have collected membership dues. It is included in our overall balance, and I will go through and break that out. I have to go through the bank statements and make sure I break that out so I can show that as budgeted income. But the other categories, we have not had any income in those categories yet. And
Madam
as for
Treasurer, excuse me, is there any way you can make the slide a little bigger?
well, it is maxed on my screen.
Okay, okay,
So, sorry about that.
okay.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, on my screen, it is at full capacity.
Yeah, Joanne, I don't know if I have this report, because I was gonna say if I did, I could make it bigger.
Hold on, let me see something here. Yeah, on my screen, unfortunately.
Oh, you know what, Joanne, go down to the bottom of your screen, go all the way down, and go to your right, keep going, keep going. See that little line, push that line to your right, that one. That one, yes, push it to your.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
okay,
yeah.
sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
is that,
okay.
is that
Yeah.
better?
Yes,
Yes,
thank
much
you.
better,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of falling off. All right, so let's
Okay.
do this. All right. Okay, now let me make sure I can see all the categories. Oops. Okay,
Yeah, that's perfect. The way
Wow, that was great.
the one you-
okay,
Yeah, that was good.
okay. All right, so as far as expenses, the total expenses for the month of May, I think we've reviewed the prior months. The total expenses for the month of May is $8,033.76. The bulk of that was here, the 2,865. That was the conference registration and the expense for the trip for our delegate to go to the conference in Martin, to go to the conference in Texas. So that was the total expense, including the registration fee, which was $500, and his hotel and airfare. The other expense, the $4,394.89, was the total expense incurred for the installation ceremony. And then we had $523 for our tax preparation, and then $250 for the Zoom account maintenance that we incurred. So the total for the month of May was $8,033.76. To date, our total expenses is $16,534.44. And based on our projected income and for our budget, our balance would be $57,465.56. Again, we are as far as the income, we are working on a couple of projects, so we will have that updated when the income occurs. Just a quick glance at our last bank statement, and this is as of, let's see if I can make this a little bigger. This is as of June 20th, and there hasn't been any other activity as far as expense since that date. So you can see that it is showing a current balance of $87,317.12. It's showing an available balance of $30,000 because the certificates have not expired. So they're not showing in the available balance. However, they are showing in the total current balance. So that is the balance again as of June 20th. What questions do you have regarding the expense and income?
The balances you just showed for the subcommittees, that's the amount of, that's the amount of funds that each subcommittee has?
That is the amount of funds. There are going to be some adjustments made to that because once we get the disbursement from the city, we will be going in and making deposits into those subcommittee accounts, transferring it from the general account into the subcommittee accounts. That has not done. Those actually are the balances that were in place at the beginning of our term as far as leadership. So there hasn't been any activity from subcommittees where they did any fundraiser to have funds deposited in, and then there hasn't been any other adjustments made. So we will be making some adjustments again when we get the funds from the city, that we will go through and allocate funds to each subcommittee, but that has not been done as of yet.
Madam Treasurer,
And one more thing, okay, just real quickly, there's also some expenses that we will have to make those adjustments as well.
Thank you.
Yes, Lena.
Madam Treasurer, and it will be reflective on your next report. Dakar Plateau Synagogue had 2 events that are not reflective in your report because all the money has not been deposited. So we'll make sure that we get that to you. And then Marietta did deposit some of the money. So that will show on the report too. And I just wanted to make that note so Marietta know. Those funds just have not been transferred over to your subcommittee account. Some of it has gone into the general account. And then I have some checks here that I have not deposited that go into Dakar. So that will happen when the treasurer updates the records and she gets funds from the city. We'll have all of that. It will be reflective in her report.
What other questions do you have?
I have one question, and perhaps
Yes.
it's for Lena. The funds that come from the city of Pasadena for their fiscal year, is that reflective of what's going to be coming in from 24-25, or is that retroactive to 23-24? Or do we know?
Is that to the treasurer or to me?
I think you might be very willing.
Yeah, Treasurer Forte, I believe that's 24-25. We're under a fiscal year. So what we're
Correct.
operating right now is on 24.
Or
We have no information from 2023, so we can't, so we're operating on a 6-month basis of 2024. And what the treasurer has done is she's operating from 2024 for that 6 months, and everything else that comes in is 24-25. Only on the fiscal year with the city, we're on a calendar year.
Exactly. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to clarify. That's all. Thank you.
any other questions? Okay, hearing
Oh,
none.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
quick question. That is, there are things like a donation from Catherine Barger. Is there any sense of when that might come in? Or is that a hope that she'll donate it?
I think that we don't have an exact date, but I think it's more than a hope that she will donate it because she's donated in the past. So
Okay,
the goal is to have particularly the donations in before the end of the year. But as of today, we have not received them. We are looking at, and we'll talk about this more. I'm sure Madam President will talk about this more as we move forward. The event that we're having in August that perhaps could be a fundraiser. So we are looking at what opportunities we have for a fundraiser. So as mentioned, these pledges have not materialized yet, but when we put them on here, it was because we on good accord that we would be getting the amount that we have placed on here as in our proposed budget.
great. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, Madam President, that concludes my.
Did you want me to show your report that you submitted to the city?
I think she's frozen.
Pardon me?
Report.
Madam Treasurer, do you want me to show
Yes.
your report that you submitted to the city?
Sure, we can look at that. Let me. stop sharing. So here is the report that we submitted to the city for reimbursement. As mentioned earlier, all of the activity or expenses we have to submit to the city, and then there is a reimbursement process. So this is what we said. I'm sorry, hold on, Lena, can you make that larger so I can see the top?
Okay.
So, okay. So as mentioned, the city's fiscal year starts in July. It's from July 1 to June 30th. So this is what we submitted. And you can see what it includes of all of the expense that we incurred. We paid the membership dues, and then also for the exchange students that went to Dakar and the chaperone. The badges, we ordered badges, which was $1,600. The items 14, 15, 16, 17 are all from the swearing in ceremony. Here it says credit card. I want us to be clear on that. We actually have a debit card. It's not a credit card, but the $500, which on our budget was included in the amount for the registration for the Sister Cities International Summit that Martin attended. And then we have the tax return expense. And then the last item is the hotel and airfare for Martin to attend the summit. So the amount that we submitted to them for reimbursement was $15,036.44. So they have all of the they have the spreadsheet along with all of the documentation that they need. They did ask for a lot copies of the canceled checks, all of the receipts. So we were able to submit everything that was needed for them to review the request. Any questions?
Yeah, what is Cell Consultant?
That is the name of the company that made the badges. If you look over all the way to the right, name badges for 140 members.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Joanne,
Okay.
we can probably talk about this another time. You know, I see our sister cities membership dues are $1,000, and I'm just having a difficult time getting into the actual site. And I'm calling everybody I can, and I have some other documentation. But if when we sent that check in, if there's a person that I can call, because I think once I start talking about we've paid our dues, I can get our login stuff. I don't know why
I think we can take that offline, and then we can get you. Yeah, we
Okay.
can get you logged in if you're having difficult logging into the system. I don't know if there's levels of access, and I'm not quite sure what you're trying to log into to see, but we can certainly check that and make sure you have the proper access.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I just had the wrong thing. Okay, we can talk about it later. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I take that down, Treasurer?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that report. Now we're going to go into the subcommittee reports. And Elizabeth emailed everyone supporting documentations for every item on the agenda. And I'm going to turn the agenda over to Bob Niemak, Chair of Germany.
Okay. Well, we have our German student, Marlena Lauth, 18-year-old female, will arrive in Pasadena on July 26th for a 6-week internship with the Pasadena Fire Department paramedic team. we've arranged 6 host families for her to stay with, all of whom have very stable homes and have 5 of the 6 have a history of hosting students in the past. A list of the host families was submitted in my June report to the full board, or sorry, to the full membership. And then on August 27th, 7 members of the Ludwigshafen Sister Cities Committee will arrive in Pasadena and will be staying at the Courtyard Marriott and will be hosted. I mean, I've sort of taken charge of helping to plan some events for them. I may be calling people up to help us move them around town. And I also am setting up a time that people could gather and meet them, anybody who wants to meet the 7 members of the Ludwigshafen Sister City group. The president of their group, Dr. Stefan Reinhard, is coming. Many of them have been to Pasadena before. Only 2 of the 7 have never been here before. So I'm planning some sightseeing around Pasadena, sightseeing around Los Angeles, to the observatory and to the Getty Center and to the Huntington Gardens, and hoping that there will be a chance for them to meet the mayor. Unfortunately, they have chosen, this was their choice, not any of ours. They chose the Memorial Day weekend. So they're just missing the event, the big event on the 25th. And they're also not going to be able to go to the city council meeting because that is a holiday. So I'm working with President Kennedy to arrange a meeting with the mayor. And other than that, I will announce when it is that we'll have a gathering that people can attend if they want to. Probably, I'm actually thinking it might be a breakfast event on a weekend. So I'll have some more consultation with Lena and with other people on the committee and figure out what the best date is for that. That concludes my report.
In your report, Bob, is there any financial requirements that you require from the Pasadena Sister Cities?
Yeah, well, that was submitted both in my work report and also in my April report.
And what is that dollar
But
amount?
it wound
has
up
to be
being
approved.
okay. It's an estimate. You know, I really can't fully say, and I'll do, but it would be $2,000 or less. I'm going to try and not have to rent any vehicles. So that was $400 of that $2,000. So my plan was to have one event that members could attend, and members could probably pay for their meal, but we would get the meal, pick up the tab for the German group, and then just some other tour expenses and things like that. So the budget that I submitted was for $2,000.
Okay, so what we will do, just so for the record, when each subcommittee spends money, it comes out of their subcommittee account. And as Treasurer Forte shared, when we receive the reimbursement from the city, she's going to divvy that up amongst the subcommittees. So technically, if we awarded you any money, it would be a loan from PSCC. So when that money comes in from the city, it will go into your account, but then the Treasurer Forte will take it from the account and put it back into the general funds. So the three of us could meet with Treasurer Forte and figure that out. And then we
Okay.
could work out the best time. The three of us could meet, figure that out, and then figure out the best time to host something. And if it could, and to figure out how to pay for this. Does that make sense, Bob and
Yeah.
everyone? Okay. But we're looking at no more than $2,000. But again, you would have, I think you have that because if I'm not mistaken, the treasurer will let us know, but I think that she will be able to put that in your account, and so we would give you a loan, but we can figure that out.
Yeah, okay.
And so
That's what credit cards are for.
And just so all of us know, when you have money in your subcommittee account, you do not have to get approval from the board or the general membership, but that's something that your subcommittee has to agree on and approve. So once the treasurer allocate you a dollar amount, that dollar amount is for you to use based on your committee approving expenditures. But then you do have to report to the treasurer because she has to make sure that it's in compliance. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay.
So could I just ask, right now, the Germany, looking at the budget that we just saw, the Germany subcommittee had something like $1,030 or something like that. So does that mean?
So what the treasurer stated in her report, if I could speak for the treasurer, what she stated in her report is that she's still reconciling the subcommittee accounts. There are some subcommittee accounts that is showing one amount. The treasurer showed you actuals, but is actually in the accounts as of today. What she said she's going to do is reconcile the funds. So some subcommittees may have less than what is showing in what she reported to you now, and some may have more, but she said she's reconciling those accounts. So once she reconciles that, she'll let you know what the actual is.
Right.
Does that
Thank
answer
you.
your question? Is that correct, Treasurer Forte?
Yes.
Okay, good report. Any questions for Chair Bob? Any clarification? So Bob, we're excited about the student coming, and we're going to figure it out. I do have a letter, and I'll CC the executive board and you on the letter that I'm sending to Vice Mayor Steve Madison to see if he could help navigate that process. And if the mayor is not available, we're asking him or Councilman Tyrone Hampton to make themselves available and then have a staff person provide a tour of City Hall. But we'll navigate and figure that out. What I would like to consider you doing, Bob, and I can help possibly navigate that, since they're coming to us in the US, we're going to have the Olympics here in 2028. And I'm thinking I may be able to contact somebody from the Olympics that's housed here in Southern California to see if they could give them gifts or do something for them while they're here. But I will follow up and find out about that, because that would be a fun part since it's going to be here in 2028.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you.
Any other input for Chairman Bob?
Bob, just so you know, my husband, who speaks German and does landscape and everything, he's counting on helping you, and he can be a guide at the Huntington or other things. So get in touch with him, or okay, you
Will do. Yeah.
Okay.
He's my old hiking buddy. So we go way back.
Right. Yeah. He's
Super
excited about it, having a chance to practice, speak his German.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so very much for that report. Now we have Renee Gonzalez for Chairman Renee Gonzalez for Japan.
Thank you. Just unmute myself. Good evening, everyone. So I don't know if, because I saw on the agenda the suspension committee, so I don't know if I should talk about that on this report, about the lack of communication by the vice chair, or if you want me to wait until that and just report what I have done so far.
Oh, no, you could, that's a part of your report.
Okay,
And,
so
and
basically,
so just for clarity for everyone on the all of the board members.
yep, so
Renee is talking about just Japan. Vice
Yeah.
President Gordon's going to talk about something different. Those are two different topics.
Got it. So I have the draft of the work plan for the year, and I have many great ideas for fundraising and also some student exchange in soccer tournaments. Since, as you mentioned, the Olympics, we're gonna have the World Cup here in 2026, so we have a lot of time to prepare. And I'm very involved in Villa Park Youth Soccer League with Jorge Carcamo, and I'm gonna bring him into the committee as well. So we're trying to put together like a mini world soccer tournament. And I'm gonna talk to Bob as well about Germany, because in Germany, you know, soccer or football, as we call it, it's the main sport over there in Europe. So, but unfortunately, after numerous, you know, emails and just reaching out to the past chair, you know, just to get some insight of past work and future work, and just to be inclusive of their work and just be respectful. But unfortunately, there has been zero communication, zero response. And so I didn't want to just move forward, and I thought that it was not appropriate. But at this point, I'm willing to just move forward and reach out to the Japan General Council and just get the channels of communication for the Mishima mayor, which I have his name, but I need, you know, the proper channels of communication from the Japan General Council. So I'm willing to move forward. But in that matter, I think that for the best of this committee, and to work with people that are willing to, you know, put the time and cooperate with the new administration, I am asking for the removal of the vice chair, as there has been no communication, like I said, and just failure to provide even tentative dates for introductory meetings with myself to talk about the work plan and the future of this committee. So that is one of the items that I wanted to ask the executive board and the board of directors to approve the letter that was sent for the removal of that director, the vice chair, and just to allow me to look for other leaders that want to be proactive and positive on the work that we're doing right here. I have met with some trust board members of PCC and also the president, and I'm gonna try to build up the membership at PCC. Also, in regards of the New Mexico affiliation. So I'm trying to do both, just build up the membership and raise awareness of what we're trying to do here with the New Mexico affiliation. And it's being welcomed, you know, greatly by the PCC administration. So everything is looking really good on that matter. I have a lot of support from many people at PCC, and so I'm just trying to engage people, tell them about Sister City, and just grow the membership and the support for both the Japan subcommittee and the new Mexico affiliation for next year. So I have a list of prospect restaurants to reach out for sponsorship, and also for the event that the student exchange director is creating. I did participate in the roundtables of Japan and submitted the paper of the Hajimari project for the history of the affiliations in Pasadena. And so I just I haven't been able to put as much time in July as I would, because of many personal responsibilities that I have, and also with the Human Relations Commission and other historic nomination work that I'm doing next week. So I haven't been able to put as much time as I would like to. That's why I didn't put a July subcommittee meeting for Japan. But I just want the board to know that I'm ready to move forward without the help of past chair or vice chair, the current vice chair. And so I'm requesting that that vice chair for Japan be removed. And also I want to create an introductory letter or email to the General Council of Japan and include the president of our committee, and just start from scratch and get all the contacts, the channels of communication for Mishima, and just you know, go from there. There are many people at Pasadena Unified as well that are barely learning about Sister City, and they're you know, as when I have approached, my experience when I approach people and I'm trying to get them involved, they're a little hesitant because they think that it's going to take a lot of their time, and it's just obscure. But I'm trying to create a way, a template that will educate people as to what this is, and they feel more, so that they feel more you know, familiar with this committee, with this program, Sister City, and the mission and vision, and so that they're part of this, and we can grow the membership stronger. So as far as the budget, I don't have any request for budget because right now it's only on the planning. I do have a big fundraiser idea closer to the Rose Parade, and I briefly described that to the president, but it's going to take some time and effort from collectively from all the subcommittees, and I know that Reverend Phyllis is working very hard for the fashion show, so I want to know if we can have look at the big picture of what we're trying to get, because I know the fashion show, according to the work plan, is related to just the Finland subcommittee student exchange, but the event that I'm planning the week prior to the Rose Parade, I think it could potentially have a lot of revenue generating for our committee, not just for the Japan, but for all of them. So I would like to find a way that we can all integrate these bigger events throughout the year, and so that everybody is in the same page. I'm not sure if this fashion show is going to be an annual ongoing thing, and if it's always going to be for Finland. So that is one question I have about that. But as far as the Japan right now, it has been kind of not what I would like it to be, but basically we, like I said, are ready to move forward with or without the help from previous chair and vice chair, and so I just need the president's support to reach out to the Japan General Council and just start from scratch on an introductory email to get the proper channels of communication for Mishima. On the past roundtable for Japan, I met several leaders, you know, throughout the nation, and I happened to meet a person here in Culver City, and he shared a JET program. It's not an official JET program. The JET program is like student, it's not a student, it's like instructor exchange teachers. So like a college graduate can go to Japan and teach English for 2 years. And that is kind of the big picture of the JET program. But what the Culver City, Sister City design is like they mimic that program. So it's not an official JET program, but it's like a custom JET program just for the two sister cities. So I thought it was a great idea. When I came across the JET program, I was very impressed, and I wish it would have been part of the sister city. But what the sister city committee in Culver City did, they basically mimic everything, all the process, all the arrangement, and they contacted the Board of Education from their sister city in Japan, and they proposed a custom JET program. And I think that is a very good idea. So basically I could start working. Once I get a hold of the Shizuoka Board of Education, I can send them a proposal to create a JET program. I have very good communication with the Board of Education here in Pasadena, and I have a lot of support from them as well. So I think that creating a custom JET program between Mishima and Pasadena, it's a very good idea, and it's
Renee,
one that is going to be
Renee,
on
I'm
my
going to
agenda.
interrupt you a little bit.
Go
So
ahead.
some of what you're saying falls under the line of the student exchange program. So some of what you're talking about when you're talking about the last component you were just speaking of, that goes under Chairperson Phyllis. And so you should incorporate that. The other thing that I'm going to ask, I'm going to save your motion for us to come back to the motion so that we could go on with the reports. But I want to just say this to every last one of us. Before we meet, all the meetings are on the, if I could take this liberty to just say this, please. All of our meetings are posted on the website when we meet. And if everyone could just do bullet points of what you're going to talk about, so you can stay very focused on things that you want to highlight, and that will save us a lot of time when we give our reports. So if everyone could just make a habit, I do it, and I just happen to put it on the agenda, my bullet points. But if we could all do that, it makes the conversation very concise and very effective. And we don't, we just stay very focused on different topics. The program you're talking about is very exciting, Renee, but I think that falls under the student exchange. So if we could incorporate that in with Reverend Phyllis, that would be great. And did you have any closing remarks?
Yeah, and just for the record, it's not student exchange. It's actually professor exchange.
No, I understand that, but it would still fall under, we would incorporate it under that.
Okay.
Because they're going to be teaching students, so that it's and that's why we have subcommittee, we have representatives from each subcommittee on the student exchange committee, so that all of anything regarding students, whether we're in, what you're talking about is something very new that we've never done, but it still would fall under the student exchange, if that makes sense, because they're going to be teaching students.
That makes sense. So I will follow up with Reverend Phyllis with this plan, and I'll put a meeting with the Culver City chair, and he will guide us as to how he got it.
Right, and and this is very, very important. We need all of the work plans so that we can look at the comprehensive picture before we make any decisions. We are way behind, not any fault of any of us. We're just way behind in getting things done. The exercises that we're going through will help us in 2025, if all of us are still in office in 2025. It will be much more fluid and easy because we put the work in now. The work plans are critical so that the executive team can look at all the work plans and see how we're going to move forward. And we only had 2 work plans submitted, and that was from Finland and Germany. So all of these things need to go into your work plan.
My closing remarks is I do have the draft that was sent, the template, and I fill it up with as much information as I can. And I was just waiting and waiting and waiting for the vice chair to just join.
Right.
But I guess, and I'm having a meeting next week with Mr. Gordon, so he's going to help me just complete it, and we'll move forward.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Any questions for Chairman Renee Gonzalez?
Actually, I don't have
report.
I don't have an excellent report, and I don't have, so that we can, I think people getting their work plans in. I have emailed all the subcommittees, and I talked to Phyllis a little bit today, but I will be working readily with them to get those work plans in. Because without that, in that email, I actually said we need that comprehensive picture in order to decide how we're going to go through budgets and our whole plan. So they are very important. And I've sent emails to everybody. You can contact me. I will help you through those plans. And Renee, also, we will meet. One of the things that we got to do is if we're not ready, we don't know enough, we give whatever we have. And when we get together as a group, we'll figure out how to move it forward.
Thank you. Now,
I just want to mention, we have Martin Gordon here and he is present.
oh, great. And we have James Farr, I believe I saw him. And now we're going to move to Finland Chairperson, Reverend Phyllis Griffin, if you could give your report. If she's not ready, then we will go to Tina Rojas. We'll come back to Reverend.
I'm ready. Are you still there, Lena and everyone?
Yes, yes. Are you ready?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. On this hot July evening, we're doing Finland now, okay? Finland, in terms of my work plan for the rest of this year is to, it's 4 or 5 things. One of the most important thing is to raise $20,000 between now and the middle part of spring next year for a student exchange cultural fashion show. And Renee, I look forward to talking with you, and we probably can integrate some things together and just do one big major thing is what I prefer. So I am looking for that. And in terms of what's needed for that, I asked each one of the subcommittee persons that work with me on the student exchange, if each one of them from their respective budgets can donate, contribute $150 each, then that would be like $900, and that would be like seed money. And usually, the first thing you want to do is secure your venue. So I'm looking at that to pay for the student exchange coordinator, and the 2 other persons from the student exchange committee. I don't have any members with the Finland group, and sometimes I feel like the ones that I'm working with are actually for Finland too. So I do get confused, so you have to bear with me at times. So that's one of the things that I'm looking at, a fashion show, cultural fashion show, raising $20,000. And the other thing is we are just about completed with our forms for the no, that's student exchange. I gotta stay with Finland. See, with Finland. Okay, let me stay with Finland. What I need help in terms of, Madam President, Executive Board, I need help with contacting the mayor. It's almost a year and I have not heard anything about him or from him. I don't know what to do with being a sister city representative, and I don't have a name or a telephone number to call. So I feel that that's very, very important before this year is closed out, because I also am working on a long-term goal of establishing a partnership between both our sister cities and the Philander Foundation National. And the reason for that, a number of reasons, but the first one that I decided was that the U.S. Embassy in Finland offers a grant anywhere between $5,000 and $50,000. And you have to be partnered with another nonprofit, actually in this in our sister cities, Jarvapa. So I really, those 2 things, those 2 partnerships, and the knowing who I'm dealing with, that's really important for me at this point. I think that those 3 are more important than trying to develop memberships. I don't even have anyone to talk with. And I wanted to start this now so that we can begin to get to know one another, and we can talk about this grant and just come up with a strategy of how we want to use this money for a grant collectively. But I need a starting point for that, and the starting point for me is the mayor.
Okay, thank you for your report. I do have some questions. I'm not clear on some of the things. You said you need to be in a phone number and a contact for the mayor of Finland.
Yes, I don't have any contact information for anybody in Finland.
So what we need to do is we're working on trying to get contact. We're limited on the contact that we have that's in our possession. The report that we sent to the city, we gave them information that we had, but we can look at and see, Google's a great thing. We can find out who the mayor is of Finland, maybe by going on Google and researching that. If we don't have that in our, just one moment.
Because I've tried, I found her name and everything, and then I had an email, but then the email is wrong. And I've been, on several other sites, I've been trying to, get the attention of someone to see how.
Okay, so what we will do, if you have her name, the city has to have an address. We can send a hard copy letter to them, introducing ourselves to them. And that would come from the administrative team, the executive team. And we will do a hard copy introduction of who you are and some of the things that we're looking to do. I do want to emphasize membership is important when we talk about raising money, building relationships. We need members so that we can say that this is a Finland, we have 10 members, and each committee should try to obtain at the very minimum 10 members on their subcommittee. So we need to find out who the Finnish community is in Pasadena, and there is a community, and reach out to them and ask them to take out a membership with us. So that's some work that we need to do. We really need to build up the membership, because it's not going to bode well, look well, or be effective if we don't have members and it's a one-person show. So we do need to build the membership up, and that should be all of our priority for this year as we build up the administration, is building up the membership. So when we go after funds, we can say we have a solid membership of the Finnish community that's a part of Pasadena Sister City, because that will impact any kind of funding that we go after.
Yes, I understand that, Lena. And I've already, chosen the Philander Foundation National. That's the national group right on Lake Avenue. And these people already have their, hands on.
So let's reach out to them, Reverend Griffin. Let's reach out to the people that you've made contact with. Ask them if you could do a presentation at one of their meetings, and tell them the importance of building this partnership and inviting them to become members of the Pasadena Sister City.
Okay, I will do that.
What is the name of the sister city in Finland?
JARVENPAA, Javanpaa. I've only heard it pronounced one or two times, and so I guess that's the way you pronounce it. Javan.
Reverend Gifford, you said JARVEN?
PAA, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Look on your agenda at the top, you can see the spelling of it.
Okay, I see it.
But Lena, I want to add something about Sister Cities International. That's why I've been trying to get into the website and maybe getting a better understanding of how to work with that website. Is those are the kind of things they can help us with. They said clearly, like if we're having a problem finding a mayor in a city, et cetera, Sister Cities International will help us. That's one of the services that they will provide for us, is help us in ways for any of our sister cities.
Great. With that said, I'm going to email you the package that the treasurer took to the city hall, all of the board members, so they could have that. And on that, Vice President, you could see which addresses we have and we don't have. And if you could work with Sister City International to make sure our information is correct, that would be really helpful to us. And that will help Chairman Reverend Phyllis Griffin as well. So I will email that to you tonight. If we haven't done that already, I'll get it to you, Vice Chair Vice President.
Okay, and I'll follow up and see if we can get that under control.
Any other questions for Chairman Griffin? Okay. Next, we'll go to Vice Chair Tina Rojas. If Tina isn't, Tina, I see her name, then I'm going to come back to Tina, and I'm going to go to Chair of Synagogue, Marietta Knox.
Good evening, everyone. Dakar Plateau, you know, we are always busy. As President Kennedy stated, recruitment of members is very, very important. And so Dakar Plateau is always involved with Sister Cities activities in Pasadena.
Oh, no, this is the meeting. Yeah, I'm not finished.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Reverend Phyllis, you're not.
Thought I was muted.
Reverend Phyllis Griffin, you said you're not finished. Reverend Phyllis Griffin, you have to unmute yourself.
I think she may have been having a conversation with someone else and she just wasn't
Oh,
muted.
I'm sorry. Okay, excuse me. Marietta, Chairperson Marietta Knox, can you please continue with your report?
Yes. But membership recruitment is very important to Sister Cities and to the Dakar Plateau. And so on June 6th, Sister Cities we were represented at the West Pasadena Residents Association meeting at the Elks Lodge, where we recruited new members and also did fundraising. Reverend Griffin, and when we go to these meetings, we don't recruit just for our subcommittee. We tell whomever is interested about Sister Cities, and we attempt to recruit members for any of the subcommittees that they would like to join or are interested in. And so that is a perfect way to get members. I know very little about Finland, but I guarantee you I talk about Finland. Lena is normally there with me. She's the person that tell them about the history of Sister Cities, and people are very interested. So on June 6th, we were at that meeting. And then on June 22nd, we attended a VIP expo at the Victory Bible Church in Pasadena. And we had, I think it was about 6 members there, which included Dr. Roslyn, Shirley Taylor, Barbara McFeeters, Elizabeth, Lena, and myself. And we told people.
And Geraldine.
And yes, and Geraldine also. And we told people about Sister Cities. We had attendees of that expo who were interested in China. And I mean, we were working on getting members, and we do that at every event that we go to. And so we're going to be attending a block party for Representative or Assembly Member Chris Holden. And we're going to be asking that all members, we need about 8 members. We're going to ask all the subcommittees to submit names, or we'll send it out and ask people to come and join us. We need about 8 people. It's going to take place on August 3rd. You guys are the chair people. We need for you to write that date down, and it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And so we're going to need members to help set up and to break down, and also to talk to people about Sister Cities. We're going to send something out maybe a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, reminding members that this is what we're going to do. And again, it's on Saturday, August 3rd, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. For right now, we have 3 members that have volunteered, so we're looking for about 6 more members. Also, Renee, Senegal is a powerhouse in soccer, so we want to be included in that soccer tournament. And also, I think that's it. But Vice Chair Ron, is it anything else that I need to add to that report?
No, I don't think so. No, we talked about, the work plan, which I know you're working on with Martin. So I guess our work plan will be completed real soon.
Yes, and also I did want to mention, we're going to have some t-shirts, Dakar Plateau, that's one of our fundraising activities. And so we're expecting for each chairperson to purchase about, 3, 4, 5 of them. So we will have those t-shirts for sale for our fundraising activities. I can't think of anything else. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you so much, Chair Marietta, for an excellent report. If there are any questions for it, please speak now. If not, we're going to move into Vice President Martin Gordon. But before I turn it over to the Vice President, I want to say we have printed materials. We have a lot of signage that we use and display at the various community events that we go to. And Marietta, if you could add to your list the National Night Out, which takes place in August. And I think you need to contact either Kenny James or the police department to get information on that. That would be very much appreciated so that we can participate in that and set up a booth in that at that event as well.
What day is that, Lena?
I don't know the date,
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I have the
but
message from you.
Yeah, but I know
Awesome.
it is in the first part of August, and it's a national night out. I'm going to turn the agenda over to the Vice President, Martin Gordon.
Yes, I have the sad duty to talk a little bit more about the suspension. I'm sorry, that's the barking on my phone. The suspension of Michael Warner. You should have all received the letter that was sent from the committee suspending Michael Warner. We did, that was done on June the 26th. I am not clear on what date he actually received the letter, because he has 15 days from the receipt of the letter. The date of the letter was June 26th, and therefore, if it was mailed and he received it same day, that would have made our 15 days today's date, July 11th. But I have to confirm. That somebody's saying something else. I'm sorry, it came up on the screen. Since we sent the letter out on June the 26th, 15 days would have been July the 11th. Only need to verify the date he actually received it. And I'm not sure if it went return receipt requested, but that in order for, he has from 15 days to request a meeting with the committee. The suspension committee. He hasn't done that. He did send a kind of superfluous letter, not to the committee in general, which is not in compliance with asking for a meeting with the suspension committee. So within a few days, he'll, for all intents and purposes, he will be removed from Pasadena Sister Cities.
Okay, great, thank you. So just for the record, Denise sent the letter out express mail. So whatever the date was on that letter, he received it the next day, and we have receipts of all of that.
Excellent. That would mean, based on what I just said, that July the 12th would be the last day for him to request a meeting with the committee. and haven't received any requests whatsoever up to this point. So we'll take that up on the 12th.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions for the Vice President? Okay. D&O insurance, we're working on the D&O insurance. We're filling out all the forms. The forensic audit, we have to work with our treasurer Forte to secure a company to do the forensic audit. The swearing in ceremony report, the treasurer gave that information when she gave her report. Friendship City, Taiwan, Renee Gonzalez, we're working. Renee, do you have anything you want to say? I know we have the general membership did approve for us to have a Friendship City. But what I do want us to talk about and confirm before we meet with the mayor, they go dark in August from what I understand. And this is July. They go dark in August. September, I think, is a holiday and they're not meeting. So this isn't going to get on anybody's agenda until somewhere around October or November. But we want to make sure that for the Friendship City that they at least have 10 members, which I did not see at our last general membership meeting. So we need to, Renee, you and I need to compose a letter and send to Nat to let him know that the committee, as he knows, the general membership approved it, but we're not going to be able to get on the mayor's calendar until sometime the end of October or November. And when we go to the mayor, we need to say that we do have members that are part of Taiwan. What I don't want for us, this Sister Cities Committee is taking on more work so that a Friendship City does not hold the same weight as a sister city. They get no money allocation. We don't have to put in any time with them, but we need to make sure that's very clear when we communicate to Nat and Nadar. Does that make sense to everyone? And Renee, you and I will work on that together. Any questions on that?
I only have a question, about Friendship Cities in general, because we're looking at Mexico also as in the future as a Friendship City.
No, Mexico is going to be a sister city, very different process.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought we had said we were going to start with a Friendship City, but if it's sister city, it's totally different.
And that process is already in place. It takes 1.5 years to become a sister city because there's a lot that has to go on. They have to do an exploratory visit, and two of the council members said they would go on the exploratory visit with Renee, and anyone can go on that exploratory visit, by the way.
Yeah. No, I got confused for a minute. We'll talk about that again, Renee.
Yeah, but that's a different process.
I just got confused for a minute.
Okay. Any other questions on the Friendship City? Under new business, Treasurer Forte, do you want to talk about the fundraiser and the community event that we have in August?
I don't have a lot to say at this point. I know that you and I spoke briefly about it, and we were looking at making that event that's normally not a fundraiser this year. I think we still have to talk a little bit about the ticket sales. I think we were trying to keep it affordable. And I think we talked about maybe $50 and just look at volume to kind of get to the goal that we were trying to reach as far as the fundraiser, but also make it affordable so that everyone could come out and enjoy the event. So we don't have anything concrete yet, but in the next week or so, I think you and I can kind of flush that out. And then we can communicate via email with the executive committee once we kind of make sure we confirm the venue, and then we can go from there. So,
okay, great, thank you. Any questions for Treasurer Forte? On the review of the annual budget and changes, Treasurer, we don't have anything to talk about on that tonight, right? On the
no, we don't have anything to talk about that. I think as we were going through the budget and looking at expenses, there was some suggestions that we were going to make for the next budget process. Okay. But we don't have anything to change tonight.
Okay, great.
There is a hand raised on the floor.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us who it is? I don't see him.
Me, it's Bob. My question is, are you talking about making the event on August 25th into a fundraiser? That's the date, August 25th?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there were two events in August, so thank you.
No, it's that one. We were just going to try to make it as a fundraiser this time.
What kind of fundraiser would it be, Madam
Yeah.
Treasurer? Is it be just a dinner, lunch, or some luncheon or something?
It'll probably be more of an experience. I don't know about dinner and luncheon for $50, but so we're kind of flushing that out. It's to have it priced, appropriately so that it can be a fundraiser and to keep the expenses low as well. So, I mean, if your ticket is $50, then obviously you're not going to have a sit down meal or something lavish, but we want to make sure that it's an experience and really just to draw people in and get them engaged in sister cities and hopefully increase our membership. So that's the goal. But again, we'll have more information. Lena and I have something on the calendar to chat about this later in the week, so we can kind of flush it out. But that's the direction that we were going in. Yes.
Yeah, a real cool cocktail affair, it would be fine because people want to have fun and they want to be happy about it. And the $50 is the donating, is to us, and we can make something really fun out of it. I'm encouraged. I think it'll be fun.
I mean, we could do an ice cream thing because it's in the summer. In a public park. I mean, I'm just throwing it out. It might not work, but in some public place that we're not paying for the venue.
Or even if it's a place, we can get the venue donated so it can have some elements of privacy, but still be a fun event. But whatever suggestions you have, if you could email those, and then we will kind of flush them through and get an email back out to the group later in the week or early next week.
We had an event last year and the bar was set pretty high. So I don't think we can eat ice cream or anything. We had a very, very, and the number of people attending that event was very high. So I don't think we can do ice cream at the park.
So, but all the suggestions are great suggestions. So again, email them in and we can maybe incorporate some element of ice cream in what we're doing. So it'll probably be warm out. So we'll take all of that into consideration and get back with you.
That beautiful event we had last year, I remember it so well, but we didn't charge for that event, did we? We didn't charge for that event. I was getting ready to say, because I know I was like, where'd my money go? Because I don't remember paying. I went, I'm overdue. Okay. It was a great event though. Great.
Okay, thank you so very much. Any more questions? If not, I'm going to move to, we're going to go live where we have our September, October, November, and December meeting in person. I will let everyone know about the location. Is everyone comfortable with that? And when I say go live, we're going to be hybrid, in person and virtual. So it'll be a hybrid meeting.
I was just going to ask you if you meant hybrid. So thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Oh no, I was just thanking you for your clarification because I was going to ask if you meant hybrid because I know we had discussed that. So thank you for making that clarification.
Oh yeah, okay, great, thank you. Then moving right along, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We need to do some board development training for all of us because we really need to understand what our relationship is supposed to look like with the city. As I'm working with the Glendale and Burbank, I'm putting together some ideas of ways that we can work together. One of the things in Glendale and Burbank, the city manager and the city council agreed that anything their sister cities, any event in the city of Glendale or Burbank, their council members and their city manager said any city facility, there is never a charge, and they always have access to hold any of their events at any city facility. But that is a part of their contract and working relationship. So I'm getting all these ideas so that we can have a board development training and retreat and have our city attorney and city manager and different ones come before us and tell us what that relationship looks like. And we can offer some suggestions as to what the other sister cities are doing or in our tri-city. So if that's all.
That's a great idea, Madam Chair.
I'm sorry, Ron,
No, I said that's a great idea because we definitely need to make the city aware of the work we're doing, and we need their support in executing the work on behalf of the city.
Yes, I agree, absolutely. Okay, so we have two motions that we want to place on the floor for approval. I want to, Madam Parliamentarian, can the president make a motion? I'm not sure.
Actually, because the president has presented the information, you would ask for a motion from the floor.
Okay, so help me understand what you just said again.
Okay, so you presented the information on the
$500
for the backpacks. So there needs to be a motion from the floor, from the body of people present to go ahead to put that into action.
So can I just ask for someone to make a motion?
Yes, exactly.
Can I have someone make a motion that we be a sponsor for the backpack program for the students in the Pasadena Unified School District of $500? Can someone please make a motion?
Imana,
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we spend $500 to give backpacks to students out of our budget.
I second.
And
Renee
who's-
Gonzalez.
Renee Gonzalez.
second.
Okay, Renee, can you say that again?
I second that we do spend or allocate $500 to sponsor backpacks for the students.
Okay, great. And so are there any questions? So there's been a motion on the floor. It's been proposed by Marna, second by Renee. Are there any questions to the motion?
I just have a quick one because I wasn't here earlier, so I didn't hear it. When we donate the money, we get the backpacks. Are we going to be passing them out as passing the sister cities at an event so we get the publicity for that, or how's that going to work?
Oh, that's an excellent idea. I think that we should, yes. We will give them our logo and we could ask, can we participate? And I'm sure they will welcome our participation, but I will extend that offer to them. And I think that's a great idea. And maybe they will let us put up our signage and put a table up. So we will ask them. Thank you, Martin. That's excellent.
Yeah, that's the best PR we could possibly get with the kids, with their parents, and then they say, "Oh, look what they gave us," and draw them into sister cities.
And that will be a great way to get students involved. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So Marietta, we'll add that to our outreach. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so very much. Then, so all in favor? Are there any more questions before I call for the vote? All in favor? Can you say aye?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Then there's another motion on the floor. Renee, do you want to make the motion to remove the vice chair for?
Yes. I want to put a motion to remove the vice chair of Japan. And so I don't know if I should ask for a motion or I'm making the motion myself.
Oh, you can make the motion. I just was present.
So I make a motion to remove the vice chair of the Japan subcommittee for lack of participation and lack of communication.
What is his name?
Johnny, come on.
The only thing I would suggest you say is that according to the bylaws has given you the liberty to propose to the executive board because he's missed 2 consecutive meetings and many of the board meetings. So I would like to, before you get a second, if you could
Yeah,
rephrase
so
that motion.
according to the bylaws, gives me the liberty to propose the removal of the vice chair of Japan for missing 2 consecutive board meetings, and I guess also for lack of communication and participation with the subcommittee. So I put a motion on the floor to remove the vice chair of Japan.
And he missed general membership meetings as well.
Yeah.
So you need a second.
I second it.
Who was that?
I second it.
Who seconded?
Martin,
Okay, great. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, yeah, okay, so it's been properly moved and seconded. Now I'm opening it up for questions, and I have Treasurer Forte with a question.
So I do have a question. Does the bylaws require that you have to have a motion, or does the bylaws say that if this activity, if he misses a certain number of meetings, then this is what happens, that you're removed as a chair? Does the bylaw require for you to have to go through the process that we're going through?
Can I refer that to our parliamentarian Treasurer Forte? Marcia?
Sure.
Yes, the bylaws actually do state that the executive board can remove a member for whatever reasons once they're substantiated. And because that is the case, then we do have, as a board, we have to vote on that.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
Okay, so it's been, are there any other questions? Okay, so it's
Yes,
been,
are we the executive board?
Yes.
so
Well, I mean, I don't know, in some,
So
in-
let me
in some-
answer your question. Very good question. So the executive board is Treasurer Forte, Vice President Martin Gordon, Secretary Elizabeth Ellis, and President Kennedy. However, we have the liberty to bring it before the entire board to vote on that, and that's what we're doing.
President Kennedy, do we have to?
There's another question from who's that? Marietta Knox.
President Kennedy, do we have to state his name in the motion?
He did state his name.
Oh, okay, in the motion.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I want to ask a question about something Bob just stated, because we have some of these type of issues coming up over and over regarding some of our subcommittees. The executive committee, and Marcia, that this might be for you, that the executive committee in between meetings, if we were needing to do that, we could do that independent and not bring it before the whole board, correct?
No, not necessarily. And I did misstate. I should not have said executive committee. I should have said board of directors.
Okay.
So the board of directors is actually made up of the elected officers, the chairpersons and vice chairpersons of each subcommittee, any appointed position, the student exchange coordinator, and any board member that comes from the Southern California Conference of Sister Cities. So that being said, with a quorum of 12 out of, I believe, 10, 14, 15, 16 positions, the board of directors, which we all are, can vote to remove that person.
Okay, that's clear, because I thought maybe that in between meetings, the executive committee could do that, but they cannot.
No, I misspoke. I apologize.
Okay.
Thank you. So it's been properly moved in second. Questions have been offered. Are there any other questions? If not, we will call for the vote. All those in favor say yay.
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 Any opposition? Any abstentions? The motion carries. And that concludes our meeting. I thank all of you for your time, your expertise, your commitment to the community. And I'm looking forward to us becoming a shining example, as we have been, to Glendale and Burbank. And hopefully the next meeting we go to, Vice President Martin and executive team that we can actually ask to maybe present at one of the conferences about some of our achievements and accomplishments and our best practices. And because we're learning a lot as we go through this journey. So I thank all of you for your expertise and your commitment. Have a good evening. And the
Madam
meeting-
Chair,
yes.
I'm sorry. No, before you close the meeting.
Oh, just
I
one
see
moment.
You had
Wait.
item 9 on here, open floor.
Oh, can Martin, excuse
Ron.
me. Ron,
Yeah,
I asked you to restate what you said. For some reason, I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
okay, no, I'm saying on the agenda, you have item 9, it says open floor, and you jumped over that and moved
Oh,
to
I'm sorry.
adjournment.
I'm sorry.
And so at the
Yes.
risk of not holding anyone hostage so they can leave this meeting, I'm just gonna say that I wanted to make a brief statement about the Sister City International Ghana Roundtable event that they had on June 27th. It was a very great event. And it really made me more interested in what we are doing because Ghana is on fire. And the enthusiasm that was shared on that Zoom call was really inspiring. I'll say one thing, and that is that they have an agenda to have 500 sister cities in 5 years. And I think that if we can have one of those 500, we should do it because one of the things that they said was that over 100,000 Americans visited Ghana last year. Is the largest group of visitors they've had coming to Ghana, and the numbers are getting much larger. So I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to keep the meeting any longer, but I just want to say that we really need to take a look at Ghana. We have a lot of examples around us of who we can talk to. I mean, there's a group in San Diego that's doing very well. There's another one in San Antonio that's doing very well. So we have people that we can call on using the Sister City International Network.
Excellent. So what I will do is add that to the agenda for a broader conversation and to see how we can move that forward. Excellent report. And I appreciate all of you for jumping onto those meetings. And when you go onto the international meetings, if there's a way for you to put in the chat to let them know that you're representing Pasadena Sister Cities, it raises our visibility so that they know that we're engaged and involved. And Marna, I'm going to email you information that you have requested, but I will
Wonderful.
I will add that to our agenda, Mr. Vice Chair Carter, so that we can have a more robust discussion and carry it to a vote if we need to. Okay?
Excellent. Can we go now, Ron?
Parliamentary Marcia, can we just vote to close out, or can we just end the meeting?
You do have to move to adjourn.
Okay,
So
so
I move that we adjourn.
In the meeting, and we just need a second.
Okay, I move to adjourn. I mean, whoops, not me.
No, I move to
I
adjourn.
moved to adjourn, so we just need a second.
I second.
And
Okay.
Martin second. So just call for the vote and all those in favor.
Okay, everyone, you want to vote yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good
Any
meeting.
no's?
I like that, Bob. I like that, Bob.
Good night.
Martin, I'm calling him right now.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, all.